Before I say anything, I would like to start the video by saying rest in peace for everyone who was affected by this horrible incident. A few days ago, there was a really tragic event that Jeju Airlines plane that was trying to land to South Korea's Muan airport that was crashed and exploded, and most of the passengers passed away and only 2 of the cabin crews survived. It was really tragic event. South Korea declared that the whole nation will have 7-day period of mourning for the victims, and the government declared that the investigations will begin so that they can find out how and why exactly this incident happened. Personally, I almost had plane accident long time ago, and when I heard about this, it really shocked me, especially when I saw the clip that was really devastating. Then I started looking for the cause of the incident. Of course, the investigation is still ongoing and exact reasons are not really released, so I cannot really say for certainty, but let's hear what the experts in Korea think. There has been a lot of experts on the news, especially in Korean news, confirming that there has been alarm on 8:57 a.m. There has been alarm for bird strike to pilots, and in the alarm it says that's just not 1 or 2 birds. There has been a flock of birds. There's a lot of birds, and probably that the bird strike is not just from the one bird. It's probably because of the many birds hitting the plane's body. Usually one of the engine that is damaged by the bird strike does not really impact the control of the plane. That means the plane can still fly with one engine. But on the video we can see that the plane was landing without the landing gear down. This means that this is not just the engine that was damaged, but the plane's hydraulics or other connections of the body was damaged. The plane was actually built to fly with one engine, so I don't think, and a lot of the experts, they don't think that this is just the engine damage that caused the crash. Actually, the engine damage from the bird strike is pretty common thing in the plane, and usually the pilots don't really have problems landing the plane. But from this incident, we can see that when the plane was landing, we don't see the flap that's increasing the resistance when they're landing. We don't see the flaps operating or the landing gear down. That means the plane itself, the whole body was, they lost the capability to control. According to experts, there are 4 different ways to operate landing gears. And the fact that we didn't see the landing gear working this time, it means that all 4 systems failed, which according to experts, it doesn't make sense because most of the time bird strike impacts the engine and it could impact the hydraulics. And the fact that all 4 systems were down, it's extremely unlikely. At this moment, the Korean government investigators, they declare that the bird strikes and landing gear malfunction doesn't seem to have correlation. The former Korean airline pilot said that the cabin crew and the pilots, they get a lot of trainings, so it just doesn't make sense that the simple engine malfunction caused this incident. It's something is off. This is what the former Korean airline pilot said. So it seems like there are a lot of hidden causes for this incident rather than just a bird strike. In fact, some experts definitely did point out there was something strange about this incident, especially about the go-around time. The pilots, when they find that there is something wrong with the plane, they usually go around before they land. And then during this time, while they were going around, the pilots actually check what's exactly wrong with the body, and then they communicate with the tower. So they have enough time to actually go around and establish with the plan B. But in this incident, the pilots actually took really short time for the go-around. Means that probably the pilots determined that the plane lost the capability to fly, so they had to actually land as soon as possible. That means the situation was really urgent and the pilots really didn't have enough time to make the best judgment. One of the unfortunate thing about this incident is that the pilots actually tried to make the best decision, but the runway at Muan Airport is not as long as other airports in South Korea, like Incheon Airport or Gimhae Airport. And at the same time, there were some structures and the wall at the end of the runway, which actually caused the explosion. If the wall was not there or the structure was not there, I think there was high chance that the landing without the landing gear could have worked, and they could have avoided this horrible incident. When I imagine the moment that the pilots realized that their landing failed and the wall is approaching to them, because they're at the front of the plane and then they see the wall approaching to them, and then when they realize the moment that there will be inevitable explosion waiting for them in a few seconds, that is terrifying. It's really sad to think that they put everything they have and then they still couldn't stop this. South Korean government declared that they are not only going to do the investigation about the plane itself, but they will reassess the safety of the airport and probably rewrite the whole protocol in safety book. I really hope this kind of incident doesn't happen again, and I will try to update if there is new information. Thank you for watching.